Hi, this is Wes with GoGPS. Today we're going to show you the unboxing and how to install your Surfsight camera in your Rollins equipped vehicle. Here's our Surfsight box. Inside the sleeve, we're going to have our box. We're going to have a couple GoGPS zip ties. We're going to have the camera itself. We're going to have our wiring harness, our tamper-proof case, a mini screwdriver for the tamper-proof case. That's how you pull the tamper-proof case apart. And a few extra mounts. If you do need to move the camera, we included extra mounts. If for some reason you run out of mounts, you can also use some 3M two-sided tape and reuse these mounts with new tape. The camera install is fairly simple. On the side here, you see there's a power port. This plugs in to the camera. We'll then route this cable through the vehicle into the OBD port, and then we also lock the tamper-proof case around the wiring harness so that it can't be unplugged inside the vehicle. We're going to go to the vehicle and show you how to actually do the install. So now we're at the vehicle. This is a 2017 Toyota Tacoma. So we're going to show you how to install the Surfsight camera in the vehicle using the OBD port as our power source. So in this vehicle, the diagnostic port that we get our power from is right down here. So this is where one end of our cable is going to plug into here, and the other end of our cable is going to get routed all the way up to our camera. So I've already pulled off the stripping here on the door. So if you just pull back on this a little bit, all this stripping will come back. We need to get it pulled back to the end of the pillar here because we need to run our wire up the pillar and across into the windshield. So I've already ran my wire through here. You're able to kind of just poke it back through the side here and get access to your wire. The next step is we're going to run this wire along the pillar here, through the gap, and then along the windshield, up in the headliner, to our final mounting location with the camera. So I'm going to start running that wire, and we'll show you what it looks like after we have that wire run. So we've got our wire ran. We have it up the pillar here on the outside. You can actually pull back the pillar here and run it on the inside. See, we have a little bit here. I left it out so you can see it. We actually want to make sure this is all tucked up neatly in here so you can't see it. The wire then comes along the headliner here. If you pull back on the headliner, you can get the wire behind here. We want to run the wire about here to the mirror and leave maybe 6 to 8 inches of wire left here. So now that we've run the wire to the top now, we can take the plug from the bottom end. So it's coming through the bottom here. We do have a lot of excess wire that we'll have to zip tie. We're going to plug that in right to the diagnostic port. So the OBD port is open here. We have the T-harness in that goes, one lead goes to the GPS, the other end is open here. So all you do is plug this end here into the diagnostic port, and then we're going to take this excess wire and we're going to zip tie it up out of the driver's way. That way it's not in the feet. Watch out if there's an emergency brake, but just make sure all the excess wire is zip tied and bundled safely up above. And then from here we can actually take our Surfsight camera and plug it in to our other end of the wire and see if we have power to the camera. So once we plug it in, we should see our screen lights up, Surfsight, so that means it's good, we have power. From here we can continue with the installation. Next thing we're going to do is show you how to install the tamper-proof case for the Surfsight camera. You're going to need your small screwdriver, which should have came with your package. On the tamper-proof case there are 2 screws on the closed side. So if you loosen these 2 screws, this piece comes apart. From here we take our camera and plug our camera in, and then we install the tamper-proof case around the camera. So we have one end on this side. On the tamper-proof case there's a punch out. This is where the wire is going to go through. So we snap that over. So we make sure it snaps together nice and neatly. This prevents the wire from being unplugged from the camera. Snap it together, retighten our screws, and now the camera's ready to be mounted. So here's our completed install. Our camera's mounted securely on the windshield. Our wire is routed up through the headliner, down the pillar, through the side, down to the diagnostic port. There's no wires encroaching on the view. There's no wires hanging from down below in the parking brake or accelerator areas. The end of the cable is plugged into the diagnostic port. It's securely zip tied to the port. That way nothing is going to interfere with the driver. If you do need to move the camera, please contact GoGPS and we'd be happy to help you take the next steps.